Psalms 39, and it's the whole 13 verses. I have a devotional that I got. It was like in the presence of God. So, needless to say, I'm not as consistent as I should have been with it. But you know, like I said, when I started back the other day and I was looking at it and I started back, and this is where it picked me up. And then when I got the call from Pastor Audra, and I was reading that, and that's what I was studying at the time. That was the scripture that I was studying. And I was like, okay, Lord, she said 30 minutes. And then she sent me the text and she said the whole lesson. I said, God, what are we going to talk about this time? But you know, what I found out is that it never ceases to amaze me that whenever this is the platform that I'm supposed to be in, he takes me through stuff to let me know he's still with me. Amen. So, y'all know I love Facebook and I like to encourage. So there's one. I got this little test one day, and it was like a little link, and the link simply said, "Who were you before, and who are you now?" So the link said, before I was dead inside, I was distracted, but it did say I was cute. With all that going on, it did say I was cute. And I was like, oh my God. And then when I look at the month of September for me, that was not so long ago. I did this test like September 29th. I said, this has been my whole month. My whole month has been as chaotic as it could possibly be. But I had to come to a point in the midst of the chaos to sit here and say, Lord, you know what? I can't keep doing this. This is driving me crazy. I feel like I am so disattached from everything and everybody. What is going on? Had thoughts, went on my anniversary, start there. Went on my anniversary, did fine the first 2 days. The third day, I'm like, okay, well, who is this man? What is going on? We're getting ready to come back home, everything just seems all out of whack. Just was a mess. That Sunday morning, trying to fast forward up here, you know how you just brush yourself? I brushed, wait, hold up, something wrong. I'm 63, I've never felt a lump. I feel a mass, and it feels like it's huge, like it's the whole thing. I'm like, okay, God, this is acting a fool. Now we got this going on. What's really happening? What's really happening? So I'm in fear. I got intimidation. The enemy is throwing thoughts at me left, right. Some of them took whole pictures, made videos, and the whole 9 yards. I didn't pull it in subjection when it first came.
All right.
I couldn't. I had so much going on around me. I couldn't focus. I couldn't sit here and say, no, that is not happening. So I got caught up. I got caught in. And it more or less swallowed me up. By the time I began to come to the reality of myself, I said, Lord, I can't keep doing this. I got to have somebody on this earth realm that I can be able to be accountable to. And like I said, I'm fast forward now. I'll go back and get the other part, but this is the part that was so awesome. You heard Pastor Audra say a little bit ago that some changes was going to be made. I said, God, I need a mentor. And if I got to have one, I want it to be somebody that I know is standing strong. I would love for it to be her. But I didn't want to ask her. Can I be honest? I didn't want to ask her. She has enough on her plate. I didn't want to ask her. But then she called me out probably not even 2 days later. And she told me about the changes that was going to be made. I said, God, you answered my question and you answered my prayer without me even really asking her to be a part. But I'm going to humble myself under the hand because I need that guidance over me to help me stay focused. I know God is first. But sometimes you need a person that you can just sit here and say, Pastor, I need help. I'm stuck right here. I need help. And then not be so big that you can't say it, because when you know the enemy, that's what he wants you to do. He wants pride to step in and you tell you, you don't need that. Pride is not your friend. The enemy ain't your friend. He's a liar and he's a thief. He steals your joy. Y'all got to understand, when I started reading this the other day, I started reading, and it talks about verse 1 and 2 in Psalms 39. It began to talk about how David was going through, and it talked about him, because I had to go back to my Matthew Henry. I said, Lord, I don't understand, how old was David when he was going through this? But it talked about him, he was going through, and he crying out to God, and and he, well, for a while, he did the same thing I did. He shut his mouth. The scripture said he didn't say nothing for good and he didn't say nothing for bad. He didn't say anything at all. Amen. Wrong answer. Wrong answer. Amen. When you know that you are being hit or the wind has been knocked out of you, say something. Amen. Say something. Right. Because if I had done that on the 3rd, then the other 20 some odd days that I had to fight to regain myself, I wouldn't have had to fight that many. It wouldn't have took that long. If I'd have known to speak, not if I'd known, because I knew to speak. But sometimes things just kind of, take you on the way and you don't. You can't. You sit here in your mind and you're like, I can't believe I'm going through this. I'm 63 years old. I'm married 5 years. Why me? Why now? No, Lord. Why? But then it was for God to be able to help me see when I got to this 39th chapter. When he sat here, when David sat here and he's crying out, he said, I will take heed to my ways that I sin not with my tongue. Hallelujah. Okay? I'm going to put God first. Because that's what you think. But it gives you a false sense of modesty. Yes. And a false sense of who you are. I'm not going to cry out. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to sin against God when God is saying, you need me. Tell me you need me. Yes, that's what he tells him. Tell me you need me. Amen. So he says, I will take heed to my ways that I sin not with my tongue. I will keep my mouth with the bridle while the wicked is before me. People are doing things and people are saying things and things is happening. And sometimes, in meekness, in lowliness, and we say, and then you sit here and you just take it, and then after a while, you can't take it no more. So you keep on going. He said, I was done with silence. I held my peace, even from the good. I couldn't even talk about the good stuff. I'm so bound up. And then my sorrow was stirred. We get to verse 3. Verse 3 says what? My heart was hot within me. While I was musing, the fire burned. Then I spake with my tongue. When I go over here on the other side, and I went back, because then I got to get the concordance, because what these words mean, I'm musing. I'm meditating on the wrong stuff. I'm focused on the wrong stuff. And while I got all that stuff in me, what it's doing is making my heart hard. I'm focused on the wrong stuff. I'm meditating on the wrong stuff. Because right now, I done got in my own pity party. Can I make it personal? I got in my own pity party. So when I got in my pity party about everything that was going on, it wasn't about nobody else. It was me. Why you do this to me? Oh, me. Oh, it's me. It's me. It's me. Yeah, it was me. Me need to cry and say, Lord, help my mind. Help my mind. Restore my faith. I need my joy. I need my peace. Because when you go to bed at night and can't sleep, or you sleep 2 hours and you got to be up. Come on now. That ain't where God wants you. Amen. He created sleep for us to be able to rest good. Amen. I bought me a new bed mattress. I couldn't even sleep on a new bed mattress. I'm so aggravated. Tossing and turning. Getting up and down, all kind of thoughts. This stuff just coming. And finally I'm like, okay, I can't keep doing this. Can't keep doing this. I got home, I would get home, I'd get in my recliner, depression, get in my recliner, and I would sit there, and all I would do was cut the TV on. Whether I watched it or not, it was on. That was my babysitter. I would cut it on, and I would just sit there and let it just play. Just play. Like I said, whether I watched it or not, whether it was anything I was interested in, because I don't care nothing for Ellen. But she came on at 4 o'clock, it was just there. But guess what I did? So I sat there, and then finally, it's like something on the inside began to stir up, and it said, you can't keep doing this. You can't keep doing this. This is not helping you. It's not helping the situation. You can't keep doing this. You got to do something different. So I sat down. I said, okay, Lord, that's when I began to sit here and say, Lord, I need a mentor. I need somebody that's strong enough that when I go, they won't think I'm crazy. And I can submit my issues to them, and they'll be able to help pray me through or counsel me and talk to me. But he put me in a position where he gave me a mentor without me really having to ask for it. I said, God, thank you. I thank you. That was the first thing that changed about the whole situation. So I sat there and I said, okay, God, we're doing this. We're doing this. Then I got to the place where I'm like, September is nearing the end. If I tell y'all I had more peace during the storm, when everybody was running around panicking after the storm. Yes. I had more peace during the storm than I did after the storm.
Amen. God.
I didn't stress about the storm. I didn't worry about the storm.
Amen.
Finally, you know, like by Tuesday or Wednesday, they begin to start, it's going to bear down on, it's going to be on, it's going to be on, it's going to be on, whatever. So I said, okay, well, maybe we need to go find some food. By the time we went to the store, we found some hamburger buns. Okay? Thank God my deep freeze was already full. Thank God I had already bought water. The only thing I had to be concerned about in the end was my deep freezer, because now we're getting to day 5. But God, the morning that my husband finally was able to get up and find ice for the deep freezer, my lights came on that afternoon. So, thank God. I lost minimal food, if you will. Why? Because my freezer's packed so full of stuff and so full of fish that everything was there and it was together and it was tight. So everything else kept everything else. It was connected in there, so it kept it cold. Amen. So a few things on the very top. But like I said, I didn't stress about the storm. After the storm, I get back into me. I'm like, okay, here we go again. Now, I can't get to my doctor's office because with the hospitals, you know, they realigned all the employees. So I can't make an appointment with my doctor. I got this thing that's up here, I don't know what's going on. And I sit here and say, and the thing about it is with that, what was so strange is I did not purposely examine myself. I just like, wait a minute, something don't feel right there. You know, because they tell you in childbearing years, every month, make that exam. You ain't got to tell me now, because that kind of put the fear in me. So I sat there and I said, okay, so I'm calling the doctor now, I'm calling, I can't. I said, okay, I know they realigned all their people, they pulled all their people back into the hospitals and all of that. But Lord, I need to see a doctor because I need to know is this just in my mind or what's really going on. So finally on the 22nd, I was able to get through. They scheduled an appointment for me for the 27th. I went on the 27th, my doctor said, yeah, there's something going on. So now, y'all got to understand, my mother had breast cancer, which metastasized in lung cancer, so of course now I'm really concerned. So he says, okay, so he gave me a number. He said, call these people when you get out and make an appointment. So I called the sanctuary where I had my other mammograms in the past, and they have my records. So I called and they said, well, okay. So the guy told me, he said, let me, hold on, let me see, because this is diagnostic, we need to get you in as soon as possible. So Friday morning, 7:45, I got an appointment. How about traffic was so bad, I didn't get there until like 10 after 8. But God. So I told the guy, I said, well, tell them if they got to squeeze me in between somebody else, whatever they need to do, I need to get this done. They were kind enough that they did it, because I'm 20 minutes late, almost 25 minutes late for my appointment. So they did this. I go in, I get the appointments, I get the mammogram, and the lady and she's just being cruel. Y'all, sisters, they cruel anyway. She was exceptionally cruel. She had these little bitty things that she was using. She wasn't even the big ones, because they got special ones when they're trying to pinpoint a specific place. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, she said, don't breathe. I said, I can't do nothing right long enough because you hurting me. So she finally sat there and she had to do like 5 films. So she says, okay, don't put your clothes on just yet. Now I'm concerned because the mammogram is not clear. She said, you got to have a sonogram. So I'm like, okay. So I sit there. And in the lobby, this is my relaxation, HGTV. I like House Hunters. My husband calls it Haunted House, but I like House Hunters. That's my favorite show. I love them going out, and then I like when they choose the houses and all the complaints. I get tired of the complaints sometimes, but that's my show. But they were doing Fixer Upper, I think it was. So that was my takeaway so that I wouldn't focus on what was happening. So I sat there, and then the lady came and she did the sonogram, and she was going down with the little thing, and she was just going down, and she was going. I'm sitting there saying to myself, she's breaking and like, ain't nothing going on. So then she said, well, is this where it's at? I said, yeah, that's where it was. And she said, well, okay. She said, but we're not seeing anything. I said, okay. Then she said, well, but don't get dressed just yet. Okay, so now we're waiting some more. She said, I need to go talk to the doctor. She went, she took the test to the doctor. So the doctor said, that's just tissue, ain't nothing going on, ain't nothing going on. You're okay. So that was Friday. So I'm blessed there, but you know, I felt like y'all would tell me this because y'all just want to get me out of here. But my doctor, my primary physician, he's Indian. Dr. Islam, he is a character. So Dr. Islam had the office to call me on Monday because he got the results. What did he say? He said, tell her it's just fat clumped up. It's just fat tissue clumped up in one place. Okay, I can laugh a little bit better now, but you know, because we got that kind of a rapport, but I'm grateful. So like I said before, so that eased, but I said, Lord, come October the 1st, in the midst of all my craziness, I'm doing something different. I'm going to find me something that I can get back into that's going to draw me, because that's my thing. You know, my favorite song is the one that Draw Me. I love that song, but I need something that's going to make me stay focused, because you said I get distracted. And when I get distracted, everything comes before. My testimony for these 3 days, and these last 4 days, I didn't cut on at all today. I have not turned my TV on when I walked in the door.
Praise God.
That's my testimony, because that's the first thing I do. I grab that remote control and I hit that TV button. Like I said, whether I'm watching or not, it's on. But what I've been doing, I've been going and I got my In the Presence devotional. And they're mine. This is my flock. Lion, no, no. Come on, Bear, no. I need, give it back.
Amen.
I destroy you because I protect what was given to me.
Amen.
So that's what he had to do. But even in that wasn't who he was. He got to become king. We look at him and Bathsheba and Uriah. He lusted. He followed it. God exposed it because Bathsheba got pregnant. When Bathsheba got pregnant, he goes and sends for Uriah to come home, because we're going to cover this up. You can't put no blanket over there God done took the blanket off of.
Amen.
You is not going to cover that up. If I say it's going to be exposed, it's going to be exposed, one way or the other.
Amen.
Okay? So what did he do? So he goes, he brings Uriah home. He sends Uriah home. Uriah don't even sleep in his own house. He sleeps in the gate with the people at the gate. Why? He said, my people are out there fighting. Why would I be in my comfortable bed?
Amen.
So that was exposed. So now you can't fix it. But then I thought about this even before I mentioned this. He gives him a note, sends him back to war. I'm going to take the note. See, he wasn't nosy. I probably would have not did it. They were looking for me. He took the note that tells them to kill him. Send him to the front lines. So his life can be taken. And he does that. He don't open it. He don't read it. Didn't tell me nowhere. But he took it back to them. And of course, the king's wishes was carried out. So now Uriah is dead. He can have Bathsheba. But God says, okay, now you think that everything is going. They talked about the baby being born, and the baby was fine. But then the prophet comes. And he tells you of your deeds. He lets you know what you did. He exposes you to you. And it's what should you do. And then he gave you the punishment punishment, if you will. Because he told him, said, the baby is not going to be good. The baby is not going to be good. Now, David probably loved the little boy, was excited about it and all of that. But then the Bible also said that he wore sackcloth and ashes, and he did all that. He was praying, and he was fasting for this child. And then they talked about how when the child died, he got up and was like, it's over. But then, when you hear the term sins of the father, you don't think about it. But that's the price that that child paid. Because the prophet told David, so your sins are forgiven. God has forgiven you. But this child's going to pay for those sins.
My Lord.
This child, sins of the father. Sins of the father. How many things and how many generations do we go back and think about things that have been done, things we may be going through, that we don't even understand where or why? When they tell you that things are generational, you better believe. Sometimes they are. Sometimes people do their own thing, you know. People have a tendency to want to act out and be themselves. But even in all of that, David still didn't look like that. He went on, he became king, he reigned, and he did everything he did. And him and God was all right. They were all right. But that baby, that innocent child, lost his life for the sins of the father, for what his daddy did. So when we go down further, so I would submit to you and say that he was not what he was when he started out, and he was not what he went through when he went through with Bathsheba. But he is what God says. God anointed him to be king during that time. He raised him up. He lived a good life. He gave him wisdom. He gave him a son that even had more wisdom. Okay? The only thing that I can really remember that David wanted to do, and God told him, so you got too much blood on your hands, but you can't do it, was to build him a house.
Yeah.
And he told him, you can't do that.
Right.
Because you got too much blood on your hands, you can't do that.
Right.
But Solomon, and they talked about how fabulous the house was. All the tapestry and all the gold and all the stones and all of that. All that, everybody that came together and they built that house and presented it back to God. So when we look at it, so we get down to verse 4. And then he's crying out now, you know, he's praying. He finally realized that a still tongue moves you nowhere. But he finally cries out, he said, Lord, make me to know mine end in the measure of my days. What is this? What it is that I may know how frail now I am. And that's when I had to go back, and because I pulled out my Matthew Henry. I'm like, frail, how old was he? Because, you know, we always think about the test, and we think about him when he cried out in Psalm 51 by creating me a clean heart. So, you know, you think strong. But now it says that at this point he's feeble. He's not himself.
Right.
And he says, behold, thou hast made my days as a handbreadth, and my age is nothing as before thee. Verily, every man at his best state is altogether vanity. When I went over to my Amplified side, it says, behold, you have made my days as short as handbreadth. Now, I had two examples. When I went to the concordance, it was talking about this part of the hand. Okay? When I went to Matthew Henry, he said the fingers, either way you go, neither one of them ain't got no long time.
Amen.
Across, not this way, across this way.
Amen.
So he says that, and my lifetime is as nothing in your sight. Truly every man at his best is merely a breath. Yeah. And when that was said, I was like, you know, we have been in situations where we had just talked to people. And somebody would come and say, you know, so-and-so passed. What? I was just with them. I was there. One of the things that I had the ability to do was when my brother passed, I was at his bedside. So I was there when that happened. Now, like I said before, some things that transpired earlier, so I knew he did not want to stay here with us. And he more or less told me so. When he kept telling me that I was talking crazy and I wasn't listening to him, and he was trying to go up there. And I'm like, up where? I want to go home. That's what he kept saying, I want to go home. And, you know, me in the flesh was like, this is my brother, I don't want him to leave me. He wasn't no more talking about going back to my sister's house. He was done with this foolishness down here. And he was there. But as easy as it was, and as much as they had kept that machine on him, when it came that time, and he said, there was no struggle, there was no fight, there was no nothing. He was at peace. We had to get ourselves together, but he was at peace because he was ready. So he says, it's as a breath, as simple as a breath. Be it in, be it out, a breath. And they're not here with us anymore. We go over to verse 6. And then it says, surely every man walk in a vain show. Surely they are disquieted in vain. He heapeth up riches and knoweth not who shall gather them. Again, I'll go over here. And it talked about walking like you're in a pantomime. That's what the Amplified said. And a pantomime. And with pantomimes, they do all this. They don't say nothing. They all these hand gestures and all this, and they, dance and all of that. They don't say anything. It's vain. It's vanity. I'm like, okay. He just says, it's like you're not even there. It's all together like nothing. There's nothing. This is what's happening. This is what is happening. And it says, every man walk in this. Every man. And then you're disquieted in vain. You become restless. I'll put it that way. You become restless in vain. Because what I found out when I was going through my restlessness, that wasn't nothing I could do to fix it. I had to go back to the source. Amen. And when I got back to the source of the matter, if you will, he was able to give me peace and instruction. But I had to go back and ask him. I had to unglue my tongue from the top of my mouth. Okay? And then it said, verse 7 said, now Lord, wait what I for. My hope is in thee. Then he cries out, and this is what we have to get sometimes. Deliver me from all my transgressions. Make me not the reproach of the foolish. Those that ain't got good sense, those that ain't doing, somebody that's telling you there ain't no God, don't let me be a part of that. Amen. Keep me away from that foolishness. Right. That's crazy. Amen. If I ain't got God in this situation and what's going on with all this stuff that's happening in this world, what do I have? Because the world is not really offering me anything. Right. It's just so much going on. Then you see something say, I was dumb. Now I realize I opened not my mouth because you did it. Thou did it. God, you did what happened to me. You were the reason for it. But you know what? I'm okay. It says, remove that stroke away from me. I am consumed by the blow of thy hand. Remove the conflict. Remove everything that's not like me. I give it back. I'm ready now. I'm ready now. I'm not in pride and vanity anymore. I'm not thinking that I'm doing you a favor because I'm holding on and nursing my wounds. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm giving this back to you. Okay? He say, when thou with rebukes dost correct man for iniquity, thou makest his beauty to consume away like a moth. Surely every man is vanity. Every man is vain. And then I was thinking about, when your children, how you get the little moth and you rub the little wings together and it turns to dust. Think about that. Think about that. It's just like that. It's something like you go, and it's gone. It's not there. And then he cries out, he says in verse 12, hear my prayer, O Lord, and give ear unto my cry. Hold not that peace at my tears, for I am a stranger with thee, and a sojourner, as all my fathers were. God, I know what you're about to tell me going to hurt me. I know I'm going to feel bad. But let me go on and get this Band-Aid off right now, before we have to have a big dressing to come off later. Do this now. I know it's going to hurt me. But Lord, I'm crying out to you. Reveal me. Because sometimes, we don't want God to tell us when we're doing stuff wrong. We don't want God to tell us not breast thing. We don't want him to tell us. We say, oh Lord, tell me. And if he go by you and go, not me, not me, not me. And you're going to run away from him. But he said, hear my prayer, O Lord. Give ear unto my cry. Hear me. Listen to me. Hold not that peace because I'm crying. Speak, Lord, because I need a word. I need to hear from you. I need instruction. I need direction. So speak to me so that I will be able to do what I need to do. Yeah. How many times you used to sing that song with children? I'm just a stranger traveling through. He said, I'm just a sojourner. I'm passing through. This is not my home. My fathers was here. My fathers before them were here. They all came. We came this way. And we had to go this way. But then in verse 13, this is what he said. He says, oh, spare me, that I may recover strength before I go hence and be no more. Amplified says it this way. Oh, look away from me and spare me, that I may recover cheerfulness and encouraging strength and no gladness before I go and I am no more.
Amen. Amen.
Put me in a right place with you.
Yes, Lord. Yes.
Put me in a right place with you so that I can be at peace, because that's what happens. He ain't restoring you for him because he good. He's restoring you for you.
Amen.
He's helping you for you.
Amen.
If you do what you need to do, sit yourself down when he tell you to sit yourself down, and if you listen, because we don't want to, but God, renew me, strengthen me. We go to 51, that's what 51 says. Create in me a clean heart and renew a right spirit within me. When he strengthened that ain't for you. Because if I get this heart of flesh, it's going to be pliable. And if he tells me I need to forgive somebody or release somebody, I'll be able to do it. But if I do it because I'm thinking it's all for him, they did it to me, I'm not going to do it. Holy Ghost, I hear you. They did it to me. They did it. Why I got to apologize? How to say that? Why I got to be the one? But God, restore me. Renew me for me. So I can know your joy and I can know your gladness. I can have your peace. And then as I close, I was down in 40, and the verse that stood out to me was 40:4, and it says, "Blessed is the man that maketh the Lord his trust, and respecteth not the proud, nor turn aside to lies." Amplified, I like it because it tells you what blessed is. It says blessed, happy, fortunate. You are to be envied. Is the man who makes the Lord his refuge and his trust. Everything is in there. I make my boast in the Lord. I put my trust in the Lord. Everything is in him. And I don't turn to the proud or to the followers of false gods.
Amen.
So as we look at it and we think about it, like I said before, I am not who I was because the little things that I was distracted, I was dead inside, said I was cute. After the fact, it said that I am focused, I am inspired, and I am beautiful.
Yeah.
So I like the second me. I don't know about y'all, but I like the second me. The second me is all right with me. Because why? Because I allow God to speak to me in the midst of my mess. Now, when we were here on Sunday, Elder Clinton, pastor, was talking, had him to release a word, and he was talking about how the weatherman was talking about we had never seen this before. It was never happening. He talked about how his bishop called him and confirmed and gave him a word in, I think it's Isaiah 43 and Isaiah 40. And then how he said he was getting ready to read Isaiah 43, and his Bible went to Isaiah 40, Joel. And then when he was in Joel, he was able to receive more confirmation for what he said. Dr. Martin told us that we're in the Jewish New Year, year 5778. 8 is new beginnings. Now I'm sitting back there, where the sister's sitting right there. I'm like, okay, Lord, where am I at in all of this? Well, where do I fit in? Because the last month was just holy, what, for me. Where do I fit in? Minister JoJo came and she was talking about, she knew all of them Jewish words. I can't remember them, but I remember her saying something about impurities. Now, I've always been taught that the number 9 represented birthing. So my question became to God, well, Lord, what did I birth? while I was going through in September.
All right.
And he simply said, the impurities of things that you thought were gone.
All right.
Things that you thought you had been completely delivered from.
My God.
I'll let you know that they're still there. So I was like, okay, so now we in the new year, they're gone for good. I don't have to do that no more, because I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I didn't like the person that I became. Totally took me out of character. Well, no, it took me back to the old character. Miss Mama call it spade spade. It took me back to the, you know, my husband said I have an evil twin, her name is Louise. So, and that's what it did. It took me back to her. Because she was no nonsense. You're not going to do just in and everything. We just ain't having it. But that's what he did. But he let me know that Louise is alive and well. All I have to do is step away from him. Step towards her, or not even step towards her. Just step away from him and leave that opening there. She walks in.
Amen.
That's all I have to do. I don't even have to invite her. She is not my friend. I ain't got to invite her. I ain't got to say, girl, come on over, let's hang out. I ain't got to do none of that. All I got to do is close my mouth. Not same thing that David did in verse 1 and 2. Close my mouth thinking that I'm so holy because I'm keeping this to myself. When inside, my inside said, God, if you don't come do something with this situation right here, right now, it ain't going to be pretty. We have to cry out to him.
Amen.
We have to let him know when we're having issues.
Yes.
We have to be honest with him. If we're not honest with God, who can we be honest with?
Amen.
We got to be honest. We got to let him know what's happening.
Amen.
We got to let him know.
Amen.
He already know.
Yes.
The same way he was telling Adam about, who told you you was naked?
Yeah.
Who told you? I don't know. I already knew you was naked, but who told you you was naked?
Amen.
That's the same way we got to be. We got to be. It ain't like he don't already know what's going on.
Amen.
It ain't like he wasn't already there. He's beginning, he's in the middle, and you just trying to find your way.
Amen.
But he has it. All he's wanting you to do is to simply say, God, I need you right now.
Amen.
God, I'm having a problem right here.
Yes, Lord.
God, this is not working for me right now. Lord, I need your help. I need your help. I need your guidance. And he's waiting with those instructions. He's waiting with those directions.
Amen.
God, if I go over here, what to expect? If I do this, what to expect? And he'll tell you, I don't want you to go over there.
Amen.
Don't go that way. Don't do that.
Amen.
If you go that way, there's surely it's going to be trouble. But if you go this way, if I say go right, you go right. Have you ever been at a stop sign or at a road and you go, well, I'm going to go this way because I'm used to it, and then you get in, they got a traffic jam.
All right.
And you sit here and say, Lord, I heard you the first time. I heard you. I heard you. But we get caught up in comfort.
Yes.
We get caught up in comfort. We get caught up in the usual.
Yes.
So we won't step out and do the unusual.
Yes. Wow.
That's what we got to do. Everything we got ain't comfortable.
Wow.
Y'all think I'm comfortable saying that here? Y'all know I'm not. But I love God enough that when he told me this, almost, 18 years ago now? When he told me this, I said, okay, Lord. And I'm backed away 926 times. In my mind, in my actions, in my deeds. But when Pastor called me and told me, I said, so that's what September was about? I don't look like, I am not what I was. I'm not dead inside. I'm not distracted. I am more focused now than I've ever been.
Praise God.
Why? Because I realize what happens when you mess around and just, you ain't even got to go in this camp. You just stand on the edge. And you like you're teeter-totter. You ain't got to get in. You just stand there. But after a while, you get so distracted, so many things happen. And you sit here and you say, oh my God, how did I get here? Yeah, you got there. You got there. But oh my God, will get you out.
Amen.
Because what I got to do, I'm going to acknowledge my shortcomings. I'm going to acknowledge what I did wrong. And I'm going to sit here and say, Lord, I'm thank you. He's waiting, he's waiting. Well, it ain't got to be formal, it ain't got to be long. Sometimes you might just get here, Jesus!
Amen.
Loud.
Amen.
Woo. Sometimes you might need that. Woo is all you can get at. Woo. Have you ever had a
Right. Right.
loud, loud. Have you ever had to?
Yes.
And you think that nobody understood that, but he understood.
Amen.
He knew right then that that tongue couldn't say what it wanted to say.
Amen.
I got a gesture at work when I get phone calls and people get on my last nerve and I be trying to be good. I be like, oh. Breathe. Yes. So that's what's happening with your TV. I be want to say, get off this phone because you ain't got nothing wrong with you. Go on, go on. But you know, and it go on and on and on. But like I said before, I just inhale me a little Jesus sometimes because I have to.
Amen.
And my coworkers, they just laugh at me. Because you know, I don't like profanity. It's not my friend. I knew her well. But she's not my friend. I don't want to socialize with her. So if I can say Jesus, if I say the Lord, or if I say, and I be sometimes I'm like, okay. Okay, so you know, thank God for the mute button. Okay. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. Oh, Lord, have mercy, have mercy, have mercy. Then, you know, you can exhale. And you can move to the next place. Because you know God's got your back. He's pushing you forward. He's encouraging you. So saints, if I can say anything, you think about that situation that you may have had. It might not have been just last month like me. God let it be current for me. I'm like a current events with him sometimes. But whatever it might be, just think about that. And sit here and say, you know where he brought you from and brought you out of? And simply say, I'm not that.
Amen.
I don't look like what I've been through.
Amen.
But I am what God says about me.
That's right.
He says I'm saved, I'm healed,
Hallelujah.
I'm sanctified, I'm delivered.
Hallelujah.
He says I have peace, I have joy. He says I have love everlasting. That's what God says about me.
Amen.
And more than that, he says he loves me. And there is no stipulations on it. There is nothing I can do to earn it. Ain't nothing I can do about it.
Amen.
Who? How many of you? How many of... I'll raise my hand to be the first one. I don't know if I could have gave my son.
Amen.
Who could have? Who would have wanted to?
Amen.
Who would have known that I'm going to make you an earthly body, that I'm going to send you down here so that you can be tormented and mistreated, and you're going to be beaten, spat on, and people pluck on you and pull your hair and stick thorns in your hair? Who?
Amen.
My son would have been like, lady, you crazy, I'm out of here.
Amen.
Who? But God. He made a way for us for salvation. He made a way for us for life. He made a way for us for righteousness. So, what are we going to do? We're going to live for him.
Amen.
He died for us so that we can live for him. Amen. 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 Father God, we just give you praise, glory,